when you think RSL, what do you think?
That team that stole our 2009 MLS Cup.
That's been a few years. You're not bitter about last year? You're still bitter about 2009?
I'm very bitter about 2009. More angry at our former coach and player, Robert Varzija, for benching Guillermo for leg one, which put us in a terrible hole. You know, it's that old soccer adage of you always bench your best player in the playoffs when it fucking counts. So, no, I'm not salty at all. Back to you, Greg.
Yeah.
When I think of RSL, I think of the only other team that seems to fly under the radar because of their market.
I think I'd probably
Interesting.
Kyle Beckerman.
Yeah, Beckerman.
Yeah.
Just like an iconic guy from there, you know. Just him and Jason Christ, I think, are the two biggest names from.
Nick Romano's the best goalkeeper in MLS history.
Yeah.
We also think of him as the right.
Soccer culture.
Man, I would say historically we are a fan base that sets tones, sets precedents, and allows for growth, and then are quickly shit upon for doing it and forgotten about by the league itself. First soccer-specific stadium, held first team.
First team.
Yeah.
Season tickets in the 30,000 range for the first season. I mean, huge numbers. Dos Acero sellouts for Mexico.
Yeah, the spiritual, at least the spiritual home of the United States national team. We're capo-less. We're kind of one conglomerate group as opposed to, you know, rival factions for individual supporter groups. I would say that, I don't know, we're free form. We're massive and we're undefined.
And suddenly everything happened, and then he was gone. Right? Who were you guys mad at? Him or the team?
Yes.
I'm mad at Kai.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
So what exactly happened there? I mean, I still don't know. I know he was not very professional. I know he gave a really bad interview.
When he entered the league, we drafted Kai, and we've seen this prima donna Kai Kamara before. And when he came back to Columbus, the beginning of, I guess, at the end of 14 and started playing beginning of 15, it was kind of one of these weird dreams where we're like, oh, he's grown up now and he's a good teammate and he's not going to melt down at all ever. And then it happened and it was just like, wow, there it is.
Yeah, it's like waking up from a dream. I mean, he promised us that he wasn't the person that he was, but I mean, he's been on 8 teams in almost as many years for a reason.
Yeah.
And there's a reason that none of the previous MLS coaches that had him on their team tried to pick him up now when we were wanting to move him. I mean, he's obviously got a history of this, and
it's important to remember that, you know, 96% of being a grown-up is understanding dualities, and there's a very important duality here. Is Kai an asshole? Yes, Kai is an asshole. The things that he said to the press, that the way that he handled himself outwardly in the entire, 3 days surrounding penalty kick gate or whatever they're calling it, was unacceptable from a professional level. Or professional perspective, you can't do that. However, the flip side of the coin is Kai Kamara is a wonderful human being. He built schools in his native Sierra Leone. He was the MLS Humanitarian of the Year last year.
He did a lot of great things for Columbus while he was here.
He's funny. The people love him. He's a great guy, but he's also an asshole. And the asshole, Kai, that side of the coin, is what caused him to
the asshole side of the scale took over, and it was too much.
It took over, and it affected the rest of the locker room as well. And
it happened quickly. I mean, it just came out of nowhere, like I said. I turned around, and this whole thing went down. It seemed like in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I think what that did, though, is it apparently exposed a lot of long-running issues that we hadn't heard about. A lot of stuff from the locker room that, the other players were like, we kind of saw this building over time. and it was hidden from the fans for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, and if you, there's egos are a natural part of the game, especially at his position. But as long as you can keep it under wraps, and it's fine. I think that's just part of the game. You're not going to like your coworkers, but I mean,
grow up.
Yeah, like handle it like an adult, and he did not.